Hi, beautiful people. Be back. I don't know if you guys heard. I don't know if you guys heard the news, but we back. We are back. And this is the first episode of the Spilled Kool-aid podcast that I'm doing live. So if you're peeping this right now, who we got in the chat? We got Hobie came through, Spectre, of course. We got a few other pimps in here. Big ups to all of you. The birthday boy. Happy birthday, Hobie. See, all the legends are low key born in April. Don't tell nobody though. I mean, I already did, but you know. Anyways, first episode of the Spilled Kool-aid podcast in a couple weeks, as a matter of fact. You know, things been just going on, you know, but it's all good. We here now. We are here now. That's all that matters. So let's introduce our guests for today. We are gonna save the special one. Well, we're gonna save the special last two. Everybody's special in their own way, but you know what I'm saying. All right, so we actually have this is like a whole like legendary group we have today. First and foremost, I believe this is their first episode on the Spilled Kool-aid podcast. Correct me if I'm wrong with that. We got the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts and potential buyer of Mr. Art Henry himself, or themselves, my fault. Faye, what's good?
Hello there, and yet it is my first time being on the show.
See, this is a great... See, everybody in here is special, okay? Next, we have the host of the FGFL podcast, our competing podcast. We're doing a little collab today. The head coach of my favorite NFL team, the Tennessee Titans, Val. What's good, Val?
I'm doing good. Happy to be
this low-key a legendary episode just because Val's on here, but you know. And also making their debut. So we got 3 debuts today. The man, the myth, the legend, head coach of the Baltimore Ravens, fellow Bruise Bro, fellow Pimp Gang member, Mr. Quit Playing With Me Bro himself, the real pimp himself, Dark motherfucking Spectre's in the building, y'all. What up, pimp? Hey, yo, indeed. Last and certainly not least, gotta get this man, this cutie pie on here, 100%. There was no way we're not getting him on here. The reigning, defending, undisputed FGFL champion himself. We got the head coach of the Broncos, Mr. Elmy. What up, champ?
Oh, am I supposed to speak now? Hi.
Well, I mean, the champ speaks whenever the fuck the champ wants to speak. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what that's like what being a champion is all about. Welcome, man.
Respect the rules.
All right, so we got kind of a slight show. I don't think it's gonna be like as long as like a lot of the other shows we've had today, but we're going to discuss a few things here today. So we're going to be talking about the playoffs as a whole. I missed a good chunk of the playoffs just because I was like dealing with shit like in my personal life, but I did catch up with like most of the results, obviously. Then we're also going to talk about the former champ, Crack, getting this champion quarterback, Chet Kacharski, locked up for a long-term deal. Talk about that, and we'll talk about the quarterback carousel in general as well, because right now what it seems like is we're gonna have quite the QB carousel going down. I might be included in it. There's a good chance I'll be included in it. A lot of people might be moving quarterbacks. They might be moving Dak. We'll have to see. Spec might be moving on from David James. I don't know. You know, maybe Elmy will just like say, "Hey, Tyrell's stock is like the highest it's ever been. He'll get rid of him." Maybe Val will say, fuck it, for 2 years, gone after 1 year. You never know. But, first and foremost, we got to talk about Le Champion himself. Elmy, hell of a game against the Buccaneers. Almost blew it late, but he ended up getting the win. That's all that matters. 31-28 was the final. Elmy finally wins the championship in the FGFL. finally wins the FGFL Bowl. He's actually the first person from Blackjack's community to win the FGFL Bowl as a coach. So, big shout out to our quote-unquote scouting degenerate. Well, not even quote-unquote, he is a scouting degenerate. But y'all see, all you people that don't be doing your scouting, I just want y'all to realize people can call him a scouting degenerate all he wants, but guess what? It fucking worked. So, and also it helps when you trade for the legend himself, Julius Bailey, as well. But you know what? Almy won it. So, Almy, talk your shit, man.
I don't really have much shit to talk. I said it all during the end of little on the field interview thing, but continuing with your point, the scouting, the number of players on my team that were starting in key roles that I drafted. Let's just see real quick. Oh shit, I don't actually have my roster up. I thought I did. I have all scouting stuff up. Not going to give y'all any of that.
Yeah, I got give us a little.
Hey, do y'all own scouting, okay? Fuck.
Yeah.
Y'all got to do your own scouting. Now I'm just waiting for my slow ass computer to load.
I felt that.
Still waiting. All right. So, Deshaun Dugas.
Yes.
Got that touchdown. Bob Evans,
Bob.
drafted player.
Bob.
Shannon Jones, drafted player. Jordan Coley, drafted player. Hayden Beatty, drafted player. And that's just on offense. On defense, he didn't play because he was hurt, but Andrej Irvin had like 8.5 sacks or something and only played in like 7 or 8 games. And then the people who took his spot, Eric Hanspard and Devontae Anderson, drafted both of them. Jaron Mathis drafted him. George McIntosh drafted him. Jaden Jones drafted him. DeAndre Jefferson. Terrence Parms, obviously. And then 3 of my top 4 corners, Josh Ivey, Tyler Nelson, Robert Ike, all drafted. And then Patrick Harris also drafted. I didn't actually keep count. There's a lot of fucking players that I drafted.
Facts.
And then just was able to plug the gaps with trade pieces. Julius Bailey. He didn't play in the bowl either, but Stephon Diggs, traded for him. And then on defense, both Travis Rawlings and Pat Surtain were acquired via trade.
Sheesh.
So, I know Val enjoys building exclusively through the draft. I know people think that Alpi is a trade degenerate, but Alpi also drafts really well. And I feel like so far we've seen that you have to have a good mix of both if you're trying to be successful right now. You have to be able to trade for players, sign some players, and also draft players.
Exactly.
All at the same time.
Yeah.
And you can lack on one of those, but if you're lacking on 2 of those, it's going to be a struggle.
It's going to be a little difficult for those who are lacking on all of those, for sure. Well, the way I see it personally, it's like one of my big complaints about this season as a whole with like how bad my team did is the fact that I put in so much effort for like scouting, and it's just like I'm being told that like everybody else in my division's not doing shit for scouting. But it's like this kind of gave me a little bit of hope in the sense that like, you know, well, as much as it sucks to like not, you know, have my team do well or whatever, like it ain't the end of the road for me at all. It's not the end of the road for any of us, you know. As long as we keep doing what we got to do as far as like scouting and whatnot goes, like it is. Almy has definitely shown everybody that it's like it is possible to build your team through the draft and end up winning a championship off of it. You know, obviously, like, you know, you've made the playoffs all 3 seasons, and this was the year you finally just like broke the mold. And
I didn't make it year 1.
Oh, year 1. That's right. You didn't. Well, yeah. See. That even furthers the point. Like Almy didn't make it to the playoffs like year 1, Where it's just like, you know, you got people like me, people like T Clink who made it year one. Like we've kind of we both have regressed more or less. Like less so T Clink than me, because T Clink was doing well early in the season. I wasn't doing well like outside of like a little bit in the middle of the season. But I think what it comes down to is just like, bro, like, you know, it kind of just re-inspired me to like not give up and not like just be like, fuck it. You know, this FGFL is just not for the FGFL itself, like not necessarily isn't for me, but it's like this for lack of a better term, this edition of the FGFL just isn't for me. But it's like now I'm not even sure that that's not true. Not that I'm saying, oh, if Elmy can do it, anybody can do it. But it's like, you know, if Elmy put in the work to do it, which is what I'm saying, is like if the work is put in, you know, you're not guaranteed to win an FGFL bowl, but it's like you'll definitely be in a good spot. And I think that's something that everybody, you know, even if like, you know, things are not going your way, you know, I think Elmy winning the championship this year, going 15-2 and winning the championship this year, shows you that it is possible to do. But Faye, you got any words for Mr. Elm?
I have to say though, I have to congratulate you for your win. It's honestly, from what I've seen, I coached. What I can't remember what week I joined in. I know it was later on, but I have to say, from what I've seen, what I've watched, you have definitely been one of the better teams I've watched, especially Rawlings. That was an amazing trade for you, I'd say. But on the other end, I don't know if I could say the same, and I think all of you will agree with me on that part. Trade was good for Elm, but not for Goba. But I'd say well done. Hopefully, I can be the first person from Kaz's community to win a FGFL bowl soon.
Yeah. There aren't a ton of people that I brought over to the FGFL, but Faye is one of them, and it's like, I'm very happy with how, like, you know, how much work you've put into the FGFL so far, Faye.
Yeah.
Definitely makes me feel good, because it's like, you and, whatchamacallit, I don't remember, whoever Aiden Turkey is, like, y'all both came over. It's like, it's like, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, for every one of these, there's another one of, like, you know, for every one person, there's another person, like, because now friggin' Aiden Turkey is, like, always going to be known for being the guy who asks, can I see my stats, please? So it's like, it's a double-edged sword. People get mad about me bringing, what's it called over here, but I brought Faye over, so, and, you know, because, I mean, it's the same thing with Blackjack. It's like, yeah, we had Tyler Avon in the FGFL for a little bit before he decided to do things. And then we also have Almy, we also have Ice Pick, we also have Derek, who came from over there, so. And Val, I believe, as well. Val, you're a Blackjack OG, right?
Yeah, I came from Blackjack. It is like, I think it's convenient that the only time Blackjack like members have made the finals, it's been Broncos. But I am really
No, I made it with the Chargers, and you made it with the Saints.
With the Chargers. Oh, okay. Now, I don't remember. I blacked that ball out from my memory because that was a team that was facing Tyler on offense and then proceeded to score single digits in the FGFL Bowl. That was awful.
Tragic indeed.
Are we the only people from Blackjack's community to make bowls? God.
Yeah, because Derek hasn't made one yet. Ice doesn't coach, so.
Yeah, besides Ice as a player in the first FGFL, in FGFL 20, we are the only ones. Yeah.
That's wow. I should have had 2 bowls, but I'm not even gonna get into that. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it, but I'm not even gonna get into that. I'm really, really happy that you got the bowl. I think it's gonna make the AFC, which started interesting, is now even more interesting. Now I think that everyone's just as hungry.
Yeah.
Or getting more hungry, even, I'll say.
Yeah, Hobie's coming, bro. No Diddy, but Hobie is coming.
Yeah.
It's his birthday. We got to show Hobie some love.
I sincerely hope that Hobie gets his bowl. He deserves one so much.
Unpopular opinion. I feel the same way about Alpo. I know, like, it's the popular thing to, like, not, like, want Alpo to do well, but, you know, I don't have a problem with Alpo. I'm pretty sure my shit just... Alright, that'll be fine. Hold on. Do we freeze? OBS just being stupid. I think we're... OBS, stop being on bullshit. OBS, stop. Alright, give me 1 sec, y'all. I think we're good now. Alright, but yes, once again, congratulations to Mr. Elm. God, bro, come on. I mean, I knew I was going to have some kind of streaming issues today, but it's all good.
I was just worried I was.
Yeah.
Alright, we're good now. We are good now.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, once again, congratulations to Elmy on the FGFL championship this year. But now we are well, before we move on to the off season, we're gonna talk about the playoffs a little bit. Obviously, the only games I really got to see were both of the conference championship games and part of the FGFL Bowl itself. You know, it was kind of crazy to see that there was only one. I mean, obviously the Lions and Bears played against each other in round 1. Then you had the Vikings, who ended up losing in the first round to the Seahawks by... And honestly, like, MLK just kind of got screwed by the EA Bowl, like, low-key.
Yeah.
But... what were you guys' overall thoughts on the playoffs? And this will kind of help me out a little bit, because I saw a lot of results, but I didn't really see, like, many of the games. But I will start with the champ. Like, what are your thoughts on the rest? Obviously, you feel good about it because you won the FGFL Bowl, but it's like, what were your thoughts? Like, what were your biggest surprises from the playoffs?
Honestly, the fact that Baker Mayfield against the Browns put up that sort of performance, that was my biggest surprise of the playoffs.
I heard about that. I didn't get to see it, but I heard he went like nuts on the Browns.
If you have some time and you can watch about 45 minutes of just replay, go and watch that. It is a treat to watch. Nothing but offense, incredible game. And if that Baker had shown up in the AFC Championship game, who knows? Maybe the Dukeman makes it to a bowl game.
Rocky said he's not surprised. Rocky's like, not surprised. Yeah, it just feels like the Browns, like once he forced his way out, like it seems like the Browns just kind of went down south, which is like, as Bengals fans, I'm sure both of y'all are just like loving every bit of that.
I mean, I kind of, as long...
Discord, stop. Oops. Discord. I gotta leave the Discord real quick and I'm gonna rejoin.
Like, just as long as I'm not managing them, I don't really care what they do. And also, it's Pepperjack. Pepperjack's a sweetheart. We all love Pepperjack.
Yeah.
So,
look, I love Troy, but it's like, I hate the Jaguars. So it's like, if I was in Rocky's situation, I can't say I wouldn't do the same thing. Like, you know, because I get it. Like, fuck that team that I don't play for. Like, you know. Or fuck that team that I despise. Like, if I was playing for the Jags, I'd probably do the same thing. But I don't know. Like, we had that conversation about like Pepperjack, like, you know, not verifying if his player was a user or not, like beforehand. Like, but you know.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a daduka.
Yeah, it's Pepperjack though. He's the one like who the word Daduka was curated for. But I will say Pepperjack had a great season though. Like, it went downhill after the trade, and maybe he might have to move on from Lamar. But you know,
it cannot be understated that scheme change though.
That scheme change kind of screwed him.
Changing the Ravens is, it's so.
And I get it that you have Lamar at quarterback, but come on, bruh.
Sheesh.
I'll go to Spec next. What were some things that surprised you about the playoff, Spec?
Well, one thing I will say is about the good old Cleveland Brown trade. I do remember the first team to see them after that trade. That was the Ravens. And the Ravens did not win that game. We lost 41-14. So we kind of got mucked around a little bit by them after the trade. But the playoffs was a lot of good games. There weren't many blowouts or altogether bad games. A lot of teams stepped up and held their own for the most part. It's good to see. Gives us terrible Ravens a little hope for the future.
Getting very competitive now.
Mm-hmm. AFC North's about to get ugly fast.
Yeah.
Dexter
now
Ross can stay healthy. Yeah.
Now we'll go to Val. Val, what were your biggest surprises of the playoffs as a whole?
I don't know if I would call it a surprise. Well, okay. My first surprise was the 49ers coming back to life like Frankenstein. 38 points in the wild card in the divisional made them seem like monsters. But honestly, the thing that's has me really zoned in on what happens in the AFC playoffs next season is that the Dolphins just made the AFC Championship game without Marcus Delgado.
Right.
See, and that's
right. That's terrifying. That is genuinely scary. That Dolphins team is something fierce because their defense was really coming alive.
It's about to get real scary. Even in the AFC East, because it's I think once Colin gets his bearings, I feel like the Patriots will definitely be a better team, unless he ends up giving it back to Lance. Then I'm just well, Lance ain't gonna be sniping nobody for quarterbacks anytime soon. So
yep,
there's gonna be really mid for a little bit, and I feel like Pride hopefully will get his shit together. I mean, I don't know if he's done much scouting or anything like that, so I don't know. I mean, it's really going to be between Alpo and Pokemon for a few years. I think Colin's probably going to take a year to get the team together, and then we'll figure it out. But yeah, Hobie just took the words right out of the mouth. A division where Pride has the worst team is a scary division, 100%.
Right.
Go ahead, Val, my fault.
No, I was that is just insane to really think about.
Right.
You sit on it for a second, it's wow.
Faye, do you have any what are your thoughts on surprises in the playoffs?
Honestly, with how the wild cards went, I could see the wild cards. Every match, I could see that happening. I guess maybe not the Browns beating the mighty Conquistadors. I didn't expect that happening, really.
That was really the biggest shock for me, too, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. But at the same time, I could see it happening as well. It's just, with sports, even if it's something like the FGFL real life, I always expect the unexpected for some. I don't know if I should say this, otherwise Kaz might kick me out the call, but when we beat Man City that one time in the Champions League and we moved through. So
why am I catching strays now? God damn.
But that's over. It's everything in the wild card except for that divisional and the conference championships. I could see happening.
Damn, Crack said ain't nobody scared of that fucking division. Everybody in that division chokes in big playoff games. Sheesh.
Hey yo.
Sheesh. He said, I think he's talking about the AFC East.
Good God.
Crack out here saying, I beat the Bills in the FGFL Bowl. Ain't nobody worried about them. Valid as fuck.
Valid.
I mean, I don't know. It was a really the AFC. I feel like most people knew it was either going to be the Broncos or the Bills, but the Dolphins being the dark horse. And then the NFC was really just hard to really pick out who was going to do it. But got to give props to Clover as well. I mean, obviously, this was like low key a Travis Rawlings revenge game for one, but it's like also that Buccaneers team just stayed sturdy throughout all the moves that we've had, like from Walty leaving after year one, Zip and Spider trading literally the best player on the team over to the Broncos, which definitely helped the Broncos out a whole lot because Rawlings is a fucking boss. And then I think Clover did a good job, has done a pretty good job of not just like completely blowing the team up, even though Zip and Spider tried to do that. But I think he did a good job of like holding as much as possible. And the Bucs are always going to be in the conversation for the FGFL Bowl, but you know, you never know. Maybe next year will be the year they get over the hump, but we'll have to see. But again, congratulations to Elmy. Great season for all 4 teams that made it, really, and everybody who made it to the playoffs, because my team didn't make the playoffs, but we ain't gonna talk. And this ain't about me, okay? Shut up, Kaz. We'll get to like things that relate to me shortly, but let's talk about, since Crack is in here, we gonna talk about good old Chet Kachersky, the man who accepted a 7-year deal, stay with the Bears for pretty much what I would assume is going to be the length of how long FGFL 24 lasts. You know, obviously there were some conversations about Crack possibly trading him. You know, obviously, you know, maybe like just trolling the league and whatnot, but it's looking like Chet's going to be there for a while because that's a big ass contract he got. But I guess the first question, I'll start with Elmy once again. Val's to step away for a little bit, so we'll skip Val on a few of these. But Elmy, obviously there's a lot of conversation. We'll kind of blend these two topics together. There's a lot of conversation about how crazy this QB market's going to be. How do you think Chet Kachersky staying long-term with the Bears is going to affect this market?
I think that's a great move for Crack. He's still relatively cheap for a quarterback. I believe the number that he accepted at a 7-year neutral offer puts it somewhere at about $30 million a season. If you average it out over, not 30 million, like under, in between 30 and 40, like 35 to 39, somewhere in there, which is a really good quarterback number for a non-user quarterback. Especially one of Chet's caliber, who we've seen win a bowl and is going to have upgrades and is just going to continue to get better. Plus, on top of that, with it being a 7-year deal and the way Madden works, all of the bonus money will get dispersed over the first 5 years of that deal. So it's going to be a big cap hit year 5, but then year 6 and year 7 are going to be completely just salary, and it's going to be really, really cheap.
Oh yeah.
So that's a fantastic move for Crack. Felt like he should have done it last year. He didn't. It didn't bite him in the butt too much. I think the contract only went up by like $7 million or something, and the cap's gonna go up because Madden also increases the cap as it goes along.
Yeah.
So nothing. Great move for Crack. He also said this somewhere that he did a last-second scheme change before the year, so that way he could re-sign Chet, since scheme fit was like Chet's most important thing. Crack went to an unfavorable scheme in Madden, still made the playoffs, and was a crazy, weird game away from making it back to the divisional round.
Yeah.
So he now, with Chet locked up, can go to whatever fucking scheme he wants to and doesn't have to worry about pissing Chet off. And I'm terrified.
Hey, he's on your conference. I'm terrified. Matter of fact, none of you 4 are gonna have to deal with this man. So he's in my conference. So
the whole league has to deal with Crack. Let's be honest.
Yes, big facts. We're gonna have to have some mod meetings about how good Crack's team is now. So
yeah, we're gonna have to have a meeting about how he needs to be taken down a notch.
Tragic.
All right. I'll give my 2 cents about it. Oh, air raid in Tampa's. I'm scared. But yeah, you not like he said it in chat and like you said it to Elmi. The reason Crack didn't do it last year as opposed to this year is because Chet's like main thing is like Elmi said, his main issue, not issue, but his main like thing like as far as like what he's interested in is like scheme fit. So Crack just had to bite the bullet this year, and in that sense, it really was a fucking rebuild. If we're being real, like it wasn't like a traditional rebuild, like in like the sense of like how you would think a rebuild was, but it's like, you know, obviously he lost a good amount of players and he still made it to the playoffs during a rebuild, so it is what it is. Rebuild, retool, it's like, you know, semantics at this point, but I mean, good move by Crack. I had a feeling he was mainly just being facetious about just like trading him, but it worked out, and we'll see what Chet does with the Bears moving forward. Spec, what are your thoughts?
Crack did what he had to do to get his quarterback re-signed. That's kudos to him.
Amen to that.
He had to force that. You're done. Love to see it.
So Val is back now. Val, what are your thoughts on Chet signing back with the Bears?
Well, it's a good thing for the Bears, a bad thing for literally everyone else.
Basically.
I think it'll be interesting because now I think we're going to get to see Crack obviously kind of took the hit last year, still made the playoffs, almost made the divisional round. That game was amazing. What's really going to be interesting to see how he retools this roster to being championship worthy. And I think the best part about this Chet resigning is that there's a non-zero chance. I'd even argue there's like a higher than 10 or 20% chance that we get to see an Elmi versus Crack FGFL Bowl.
I'd be fire. I'm here for that. I'm here for that.
Oh my God.
If it ain't gonna be me, bro, like
I'm taking Elmi versus Crack FGFL Bowl. That would be so good.
Yeah.
Two former champs facing off. FG would hate that.
That will be perfect.
Yeah, that is why it will be perfect.
So Faye, I think this affects like both of us the most out of everybody because obviously like, we have both been vocal about wanting to move on from our current quarterbacks. But what are your thoughts on Chet signing back with the Bears long term?
Yeah, honestly, when I saw Chet on the trade block, I knew he was not moving. I knew something was gonna happen where Chet magically stays. I knew Crack was gonna put out something, and he did that. He did the scheme change. He got Chet back on a neutral deal for 7 years, and then, as said, he'll probably change the scheme to what he wants next year. And he'll have Chet there. Hopefully he'll get some weapons as well. More weapons for Chet. And honestly, I feel like this is probably the best move for Crack. For us, maybe not, because I need a new quarterback, as we know. I can't out-trust Dak. I do not want to trust him anymore. And Kenny, I can't afford Kenny. But we're going to have to see what happens to the league now that Chet is staying with Bears.
Yeah. So, I'm having some lag issues.
In the next few seasons at least. The Crack's team is amazing already. With Chet staying, with the draft coming up, I love this draft class. With possible trades going on, I feel like Bears could be the FGFL Bowl champions once again.
Oh, it's definitely possible. I mean, you know, Crack has shown that he's very good at building a roster. You know, I mean, and it, like the Bears for the past 3 years, even with like the rebuild this year, they've still been a team where it's like, you know, could they cause some waves? Could they turn some heads and possibly win an FGFL Bowl? Like they're right there. They're going to be in the conversation every year as long as Chet's there. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this: Crack alluded to it in chat. I'm pretty sure Chet was like at the top of his tag list anyways, so even if Chet didn't sign long term, he still would have been a Bear after this year. Then it's just like whether or not he wants to trade him. But
yeah,
Chet Charsky is back with the Bears long term. So next up, we're going to talk about the QB market with Chet out of it. And I'm going to look at everybody's roster real quick on the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
And we're just going to go team by team as far as like teams that could be looking for quarterbacks. Obviously, the Bears aren't. You know, Chet just signed a 7-year deal. Bengals, I don't know Rainbow's plan as far as like what he's doing with Herbo, and even if I did, I ain't telling y'all. Alpo has stated that he wants to get rid of T-Law for like the past 2 years now. And with him not even making it to a conference championship with T-Law after making it to the FGFL Bowl the year before, gotta think he's probably gonna move on from him. Rodgers will probably retire, so it's like either he sticks at 3, or even he picks a quarterback with his top picks or whatever, or he starts Matlock. But I think he's probably going to draft a quarterback with all the picks he has. Pepperjack has stated that he wants to get away from Lamar. He was already thinking about benching him for
DTR.
Yeah, which would have been dumb, but hey.
Okay.
Well, Almy has a quarterback to spare at this point with Marquise Hobbs backing up Tyrell, who is now an FGFL Bowl champ. So can't imagine that.
Honestly,
I can't imagine that Clover is going to move on from Mahomes ever. Nick just got Chris Bonds last year. Who the fuck knows what Sports Trap's going to do at quarterback? Todd's going to be locked in with Eagles fan for a few years. Faye has already said that they're looking for a new quarterback. RSV, I'm thinking, is going to move on from Shelton Morris at this point, so Shelton Morris could be available. So that's
what a stark change. Because at mid-season last year, Shelton Morris, like, I remember the podcast where you were like, how high does Shelton Morris go if we redraft that year 1 draft? And people were like, oh, he's going number 2 overall or something like that. And now he could be back on the move.
Yeah. I sort of took him over Henry at this point, to be fair, but Justin Case is probably staying with them boys. That Lemon Pepper Stepper. You gotta think Delgado will be back, and it's like, you know, you almost want to just think maybe if Delgado stayed healthy, Pokemon might have been the one being the champion right now. But, you know, we don't gotta worry about that. Injuries happen for a reason. Elmi's the champ. I don't know what Aqua's doing with Tua. Maybe
probably running
he
it
should
back.
move on.
He should move on, but I think
He's
he's gonna run it back.
Probably gonna run it back.
I gotta think that T-Clink's gonna stick with Stroud.
Clink is gonna stick with Stroud until Stroud retires. If we get that far,
Yeah.
I'm convinced.
Probably.
He likes his Ohio State boys too much.
Yeah, that's valid though. Semo, I think, is gonna stick with Hurts, although he should just start Levis at this point, in my opinion. Total like unbiased opinion, by the way. But you know,
Okay.
it's not like, you know, Levis is my team's franchise quarterback IRL, or it's not like I want to sabotage C-Mill or anything for any reason, right?
Yeah, no reason. No reason.
FG has Pineapple Pete for at least this year, so we don't got to worry about that. Troy just got Louder Milk, so we don't have to worry about that. How long is Sherhart locked in with the Jets? That's my question.
A while.
Oh, I know he
Long
did.
time, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
it's a big deal.
Pride is such a like he's such a wild card. Like, you don't know what Pride's doing at quarterback at this point, but you know.
Good luck moving that contract if he tries to.
CJ and Ice are linked until Ice, you know, decides he wants to demand another trade, and I hope he does so and comes to the Rams, because I'm here for it. But we'll see. I mean, there's been some tension so far this season between those two, like, you know, here and there. So we'll have to see what happens over there. But as of right now, I'm assuming Hayner's going to be there for another year at least. The Packers just got John Wesley. So I don't think radio is going to even think about quarterback in this draft or in free agency.
I would imagine that radio is going to be pushing all in for O-line.
Yeah.
And weapons, O-line and weapons, and then just letting everything else play out as the game will dictate it to.
Facts. Big facts. I'm pretty sure Husker might be looking for another quarterback because Sanders hasn't been able to stay healthy and Hendren's not that guy, so Mr. Nuna has already said that he's sticking with Yuki, so I've already said that I want to move on from Art Henry. I also said yesterday in stream, like during my regular stream, that there is a possibility I run it back with him one more year, but and for no other reason than the fact that the only quarterbacks I can really get are going to be like aged veterans at this point. And it's like, I'm not trying to go one and done. I'd rather just start with another QB and cash in on the small window that my defense is going to be formidable, because I'm not tagging Jesse Bates again after this year. So I don't know what's going to go on with that. I don't know. Specs playing that quarterback. And even if I did, he ain't telling you, I ain't telling you, so.
Spectre, aren't you trading?
Oh my! Here we go.
I can neither confirm nor deny anything.
And one of the silliest moves ever, and this motherfucker wants to get mad at me about calling him the Duke of Dan, but Satanayo is sticking with Tim Bradford for another year, apparently.
Hey,
I mean, he made the playoffs in his first season. Maybe it's just a sophomore slump.
We'll see.
Or it could be a smokescreen, or it could also just be that Dan is like, fuck, I don't have my first round picks, so I'm gonna hold on to my first round pick this year, and we'll see what happens.
That's kind of my idea with sticking with Henry if I do end up sticking with Henry. But it's like, if I can get back into the first round, then Henry's gone at this point. But we'll see what happens. I don't imagine Q's gonna get rid of Allen. I don't know what
the booty on that boy. No chance.
Right. she ain't giving him up that easy, at least.
I know Q was very upset when Josh Allen had to go into the hotel with the hoodie wrapped around his ripped pants because she wanted to see all that.
Right. Much love to Q. Birthday boy Hobie, I feel like he's gonna just try with Dex again, even with the injury issues, and then all else fails, he still has Briggs there, so I'm sure Hobie's good at quarterback. Octi.
I would imagine that Hobie is like, because Moss played very well last year when he was on the field.
Yeah, when he was healthy.
I think Hobie's just gonna try to find a different backup.
Yeah, because Briggs ain't it.
He wasn't, at least.
Tragic.
I mean, I still probably should have drafted him over Johnstone, because Johnstone starts one game and then just gets hurt. So they didn't even make it through the whole first game. Henry came back, started playing well, and then he played like shit the next game. So Octi's probably going to stick with Bryce Young, I'd assume.
Gotta imagine so.
I think this is the year Derek finally will go draft a quarterback. I mean,
it's got it. This Goldtree, Shirley Goldtree.
Yeah.
One starting spot.
And obviously Val got their quarterback last year for Tui.
Mm-hmm.
And then Milk has Joe Shiesty right now, but we'll see what Milk does. So this is going to be quite the QB carousel we have. It's about, I would say, count them up, because I definitely didn't count while I was like saying all this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I have 6.5.
6.5.
Because the Steelers count as a half.
Yeah. Oh, it's a lot of teams that are looking for quarterbacks right now, myself included. Faye, of course, as well. I guess the question is, what are the expectations as far as like the QB market? Because there aren't a ton of teams that need quarterbacks, but there are teams that need quarterbacks. And what would you think the market is for some of the guys who are possibly going to be on the move as far as like older guys and younger guys? Like obviously T-Law, Dak on the older side are probably going to be moving. And then as far as like the guys who have been there for 2 years, I mean, obviously Shelton Morris and Art Henry are definites, but it's like Spectre, you don't gotta self-report or nothing like that, but it's like I don't think anybody would blame you if you wanted to move on from David James. I'll put it that way. But I'll start with you. What are your thoughts on the QB market in general this year, both in the draft and free agency? And don't give away any free like draft information or anything like that if you don't have to. But but I think
surprise, y'all. I haven't scouted any of the quarterbacks.
Oh wow!
Well, it's not like you.
I know that's a shocking development.
Yeah.
But I have not scouted any of the quarterbacks. All I gotta go with is the information that was made available to us via the scouting streams, that if you didn't watch and you need a quarterback, you're a fucking Daduka and a smooth brain.
Yes.
Sheesh.
But honestly, I think just in general, the quarterback trade market took a massive hit last year with the depth of that class and the belief that I feel like people who are quarterback needy are going to believe that if they just scout properly, they'll be able to find the quarterback that they want. They'll be able to take them first or second round, and they won't have to trade premiums for, or even slight premiums for, a known asset. Just spitballing here. Marquise Hobbs, known near 80 overall superstar quarterback. In past FGFLs, that'll get you 2 first-round picks at the minimum.
Right.
I think if you get a first plus some other stuff for something like that, that's a good deal in this current QB market. I think the biggest thing with the QB market is going to be how much is it going to cost to move up in the draft to make sure that you get your guy.
That is definitely a question for sure, because a lot of people ain't trying to move off them even like mid to late first at this point.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get picks here.
Same.
I like first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh round. I need picks.
I mean, I have like 4 of them tops. I think I have my second, third, sixth, and seventh. That's about it.
Yeah, I've got like a first, a third, and a fifth, I want to say.
Got a 1, a 2, 3 3s, a 4, 2 5s, a 6, and a 7.
Wonder whose first you have or whatever. You know what? I don't regret trading that first, honestly, just because the player that I got from trading that first is going to be an absolute dog this upcoming year, I feel like.
Hey, fair
I'm pretty sure it was Darrell Law I ended up getting with that pick, so.
Yep, it was.
Yeah, that is a god QB, good lord. Welcome, Trump. Good day, y'all. Hey, Hobie, enjoy your birthday, brother.
Yeah, Hobie, go have a drink. Go enjoy yourself. Welcome to the 21 Club. You can finally buy alcohol yourself.
Hooray!
That will be nice. Happy birthday, Pim.
Happy birthday.
But yeah, I'm not looking forward to like having like it's gonna basically be like Hunger Games, like try to get some of these quarterbacks, because people who have their first round picks, they're gonna be fine, because it's like not a lot of people who are picking like early in the draft are gonna need quarterbacks like that. Like if the QB or if the draft order is the way that Almy put it in the Discord, then I think that there are going to be a lot of the people up in the first round pick, in the first round, even in the mid round, can get their guy potentially if they see a guy there. But again, we'll have to see. Really, just have to see because they also have other needs as well. But I mean, Alpo is like the FG has Alpo mock to get Iraq Jenkins. Operation Iraqi Freedom, as Elmi calls it.
Yo.
And then
Operation Iraqi Freedom.
Yeah, you got to think Derek's gonna finally take a quarterback as well, but we'll have to see if that happens too. But it's like outside of that, in like the top 10, the only person who really needs a quarterback might be Husker. So we'll have to see. After that, there aren't a whole lot of people.
As a person who needs a quarterback.
Well, yeah, Spec too, actually.
I think within the top 10, Huskers in there, but I think there's a really high chance that Iraq Jenkins, after scouting games, is a top 3 pick. Something tells me.
Possibly.
I don't see how Iraq makes it past 3.
No. I don't think he'll make it past 4.
That Iraq makes it past 3 is if another quarterback just turns into an absolute god during scouting games. Manuel Fields. Sorry, had a little cough there. And just
just goes ham.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I'll say it because I don't think it will happen. There's a 90% chance if Iraq Jenkins falls to me, I'm taking him.
Oh shit!
Well, damn.
The next guy, but
But what about Fat Tui?
I love Fatui.
He said, "Fuck Fatui."
He can move around in the pocket. That's a direct upgrade.
Yeah, that's fair. And he still has an arm, so
you
it's not
mean
like
you
it.
don't want Gurky the Gherkin and his F speed, F strength, F agility, F excel?
There's one person y'all ain't talking about that y'all just leaving out.
Puka Reigns.
Puka Reigns, exactly.
Hey, yo.
But I mean, like, I definitely don't think this is nearly as strong a QB class as last year, and I don't have that much information on all these QBs, but I have enough. I know what I know. I'll put it that way. It's like compared to last year, I don't think this is as strong a class as I don't think this year's class is as strong, but we'll have to see.
I think it's going to be much more akin to the first quarterback class, where there's going to be 1 or 2 guys where you're like, this is the dude, and then there's going to be a lot of developmental stuff happening on the other end, where you got to be patient.
That is facts. Faye and Spectre. Me, Val, and Ali have had a lot to say about this, but what are you guys' thoughts on and it's like we don't got to just talk about drafting QBs. Obviously, there are going to be plenty of quarterbacks who are available in free agency as well, and available for trade as well. So, what are you guys' thoughts? I'll start with you, Spec.
Really, really not loving the idea of a big free agent quarterback contract. Do not love that thought at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, me neither. But you know what? You want to know the difference between that for you and me, Spec? You not only do you have a first round pick, you're picking second, right? So it's like, if you really, I'm just saying.
Yet to be determined officially.
Hey, Ridley.
Madden do Madden, so we going to wait and see.
Hold on. Let me see. Lucky coming through with the...
We don't have an official draft order yet because FG, while he was at the new house, didn't look. He had other stuff to do.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that he did. That he did.
Nah, he's a bum. Why didn't you look? That should be your number 1 priority.
Yo.
Whoa.
I love you, FG.
Brother franchise. Lucky, thank you so much for gifting the sub to Dark Riddler. Appreciate you, pimp. But yeah, this is definitely a weird QB market in free agency, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Faye, what are your thoughts? Because obviously you're in the market as well for a QB.
Yeah, I don't know if free agency is tempting me, really. I don't know. I wouldn't really want to get plus my cap space. I don't know if I can afford a QB of any kind, really. So I might have to look to trade if that allows. Maybe I might be in the market for a certain quarterback that is on the market. I might draft one. We're gonna have to see, but I'm probably not gonna go for any of the free agents. I'm not liking it.
Not even Kyler Murray.
No.
Kyler, are you bigger than a fifth grader Murray?
I'll say this. I was debating him earlier on. I'll give that. I haven't said this to anyone, but I was debating bringing him in, but I haven't.
You never know.
Great move to not.
Tragic.
You never gave him a fair shout. He was stuck in the Ravens scheme that first year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably true. First year, Ravens was kind of a shit show.
I mean, I get that he's like barely bigger than a fifth grader, but still, you got to give that man a shot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kyler, are you bigger than a fifth grader Murray?
Was a lot of bad coaching year one Ravens, so yeah.
Hey, but you've wisened up since then.
Right. And you actually do your scouting now, Spec. Sheesh.
Got no choice, pimp.
Right. It worked for Elmo. Alright, so last topic of this week. There ain't a whole lot to talk about, like, off season, so we might do another episode next week. We'll have to see. Maybe we'll do like a pre-draft episode or something like that. But so without going into too much detail to give away your entire plan, what are you guys like plans for the off season as far as like building up your team? And I'll start with the Chant. How are you going to protect or work to protect your title?
I mean, the only major starter we're set to lose right now is Kyle Duggar. Everybody else is still under contract, and it's just shoring up the depth.
Yeah, I will say this. Losing Duggar definitely hurt my defense. I mean, because Jesse Bates isn't a natural strong safety, so again, it probably would have been a better decision to draft Tyreek Lewis instead of Darrell Law, but it's like I liked what Law brought to the team better, so it is what it is. But yeah, Duggar's definitely going to be a big loss for you, but definitely not irreplaceable, though. I will say he's definitely not.
I don't know that he's going to be that big of a loss. Like, he definitely brought a much-needed, like, thumper position at that strong safety spot, but he also caused a lot of penalties and was a lot of a glorified linebacker at points.
Yeah.
But also, that's just what he needed to be, and I can find that again. I have confidence.
Yeah. All right, Spec. What about you? Obviously, you won the division, if I remember correctly, in year 2. And then this past year, you kind of took a step back. Obviously, Pepperjack had like a crazy-ass run. Rainbow was that close to making it to the playoffs, and then Hobie just had an injury-filled season. But what do you got to do to get back to the playoffs and win the division against Spec?
Oh, probably start at the top. Hopefully number 2. Draft a quarterback out of Kansas.
Ain't no way. No, that's cap. You are not drafting the man that literally never played a game because he injured the whole time. That is a load of
bro, for all of that, you might as well just trade for Dom Johnstone. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, shit.
You might as well just trade for Johnstone at that, or freaking any other injury-prone QB.
You got me, champ. You got me.
Hey.
You got me.
I'm just excited to see what you do with your pick, Spec.
Yeah, we got some work to do. Still got some more scouting work to do.
Well, we will go.
Not too much free agent work to do, but we'll see.
We will go to Val. Val, obviously, it's been a rough couple of years. Obviously, you're somebody that's used to being in like the FGFL Bowl conversation, but year 1, you missed out by just a game. Past 2 years, you've kind of been like in rebuild mode. But what do you feel like you need to do as far as getting your team over the edge, though?
I think this year was like, I didn't like going into this season. It was like, I literally didn't think I was like, at best, we'll be like just a lick above 500, but at worst, we'll just be like actually bad. The main thing I wanted to avoid was like that middle ground, which is where I thought we were headed to, but we were able to like go under that.
Yeah.
So we got third place in the conference, and actually got into the top 10 rather than being like the 10 or 11th pick. So now, and have a direction now, which is let's just shore up the O-line and give Fatui a bunch of weapons.
Right. It makes sense. I mean,
I'm just gonna commit to that. If it don't work, then I'll draft Seamus Kramer next season.
Oh no, not Seamus Kramer.
Then the fun will really begin.
Watch Kramer be nasty though. Hey, watch Kramer be absolutely filthy though. Watch.
I think you should. Sorry, continue.
I said this at some point during, I think, last season. I don't care if Seamus Kramer's like, I don't care if I do the full scouting report and I know he's like a 62. If he's a 62 like X Factor, I'm taking him.
Might as well. Fuck it. That's what I feel like he's gonna be, but we'll see.
Yeah, I wonder who's gonna take Mr. Aiden Turkey though.
That man he gonna be asking for his stats every game. Can I see my stats, please? Faye. Obviously, it took over mid-season for SG. You know, big shout out to SG, by the way. But you took over mid-season for SG, and the Jags were knocking on the door for the division, but you know you're able to hold them off.
Yeah, I was scared.
Honestly, you had a pretty solid game from what I saw because you played Buffalo first round, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
And then we lost.
Yeah. I mean, you were winning for a little bit in the game. I was watching a little bit of it, but...
Yeah, we were a score away. We were a score away from tying it in the end.
Obviously, like, you know, the Colts had a bit of a disastrous offseason last year, but you were still able to keep them afloat and get the division win. But now you have a chance to kind of redeem the team a bit. Like, I mean, obviously... I don't really have sympathy for the Colts because, you know, I mean, you being a Jags fan, you know, we ain't gonna have no sympathy for the Colts like that.
Yeah.
But especially they're the only team in the division that has won multiple Super Bowls, so I don't really care. Like, you know, they're not doing a World Cup, but anyways, like, you know, you have a lot of work to do on the team, and obviously you're looking to move on from Dak. But what are other things that you would like to do to build the team a bit more?
Yeah, I'd like to. Also, I'd say I'd like to get some weapons on the defense. I'd like to improve my defense quite a bit, and I've also want to get a younger person that will take over Kittle. I did just re-sign Kittle, but I want to get someone that's younger, someone that can learn under Kittle, someone that can Kittle help out, and maybe somewhere on the O-line as well is where I'm looking really.
I got two of those guys, but I ain't trading neither one of them because I'm building the new Gronk and Aaron Hernandez. Only I hope that Rasheed Ellison doesn't like try to kill people and whatnot. But you know, I would say my plan
kill him on the football field,
right? I mean, Tipa and Rasheed are about to be the new Gronk and Hernandez. I just hope again, Ellison doesn't do nothing crazy, but. I think my plan, you know, obviously, if you guys paid attention to what I did last year, like a lot of my draft was focused on defense. So even though I have less picks and I don't have the cap space to really make too many moves, definitely got to build my offense up. Even if I'm gonna keep Art Henry on the team, I got to get him some more weapons because obviously J-Mo's not cutting it, and Watson. Surprisingly enough, as well as he didn't have any touchdowns this year, so we had to figure it out. I definitely have a good enough team to win. It's just I gotta tweak some things. And again, it's open season on most of my offensive line, so
I got a question.
Good.
Would you consider changing up the scheme at all?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
In the past, you've said that you wanted to play into Art's strength of being a West Coast quarterback, but maybe, just maybe, 78 throw power is enough to chuck it downfield, and you can let J-Mo be the deep threat that he is?
I mean, if I do keep Henry, I'll run whatever scheme will have him not just scramble almost immediately as soon as the pocket breaks down. Like, because I just need a quarterback who will throw it down the field. And like Henry showed in a few of the watch games, he can throw the ball down the field even with 78 throw power. So we'll have to see what happens. Again, it's not a sure thing that I'm going to trade him right now, especially because the only options I really have are like aging quarterbacks right now. And I don't have a first round pick currently, so gonna have to like figure something out, but we'll see what happens with him. But yeah, I'll definitely change the scheme to like help out JMO and Watson if I don't end up trading JMO at least. But with that being said, are there any final thoughts for each of you guys? We'll start with the champ. Ellen, do you have any final thoughts?
So I put earlier in the chat if we had a point for some time for any. I have eyes.
Oh well, we got time.
I have done the Travis Rawlings trade tree so far.
Oh,
okay.
The Travis Rawlings trade tree.
Yes, so there have already been multiple deals made off of the initial Rawlings trade. Both of them made by Clover. So for those who need a reminder, the initial trade was Rawlings and a 2026 third. So I have a third round pick this year from the Rawlings trade. And then going back to the Buccaneers was Dalvin Tomlinson, Shaq Thompson, Amani Hooker, who had the pick 6 in the Super Bowl. Sorry, the FGFL Bowl, my bad. And Kenneth Walker as players. And then also a first round pick in 2025 and a second round pick in 2025. Clover traded both of those picks. The second round pick in 2025 that Clover got, he traded with Joe Thuney to get Anthony Richardson in that weird trade that all of us were like, huh? And then the first round pick got traded with a 2026 second.
Oh, Lord.
Third. And with that second and that third, Clover got Devin Lurie and Mex.
Damn.
So while the second round pick in Thuney for Richardson was a little weird, that other trade's not too bad. Devon Witherspoon, Devin Lurie, and Mex. Now, granted, I got Terrence Parms with that pick.
Yeah.
And it remains to be seen who will be taken with the second. But
I'm more afraid of who you about to pick at 9 or wherever the fuck my pick is.
Well, we don't know where it is, but we'll see.
Well, I feel like you're going to get like some random ass dude that nobody else has paid attention to. So
I hope that I won't have to do that because it's a top 10 pick.
Yeah.
And I'll be able to get somebody who everybody else is.
Which is like lauding over. But yeah, that is a very interesting tree that we have there.
It is.
We'll go to Val next. Val, you have any last thoughts?
No.
Fair enough. What about you, Mr. Speck? Dark motherfucking Spectre?
Nah, kind of just chilling. Wait to see the quote unquote official draft order and scouting games, and we'll take it from there.
And last, certainly not least, Faye, do you have any final thoughts?
Not really. I'm just gonna look forward to the first draft with my 3 picks I have this year and next year. I'm just gonna look forward to see what I can do, see if I can get any hidden gems, any weapons for my team. Just looking forward to see what I can do with what I have.
Fair enough. I don't really have any final thoughts either outside of I'm just excited to get to the damn draft. And hopefully I can get a first round pick from somebody. Because I do have some needs that I need to attend to. So, but yeah, Elmy, Val, Spec, hey, thank you guys so much for coming through. I appreciate all of you guys. And once again, congratulations to Elmy. Happy birthday to Hobie. And
happy belated birthday to you, good sir.
Oh yeah, it was my birthday on Thursday or whatever, but we don't talk about that. I mean, what?
Hey,
belated birthday, pimp.
Another year that your sexy face is on this planet, and
who, me?
We're thankful for that.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you all so much for just being you guys. That's all. But yeah, if you guys are watching this on the FGFL channel, my bad about the technical difficulties we had here. But, you know, it's a work in progress. Do I need to drop the GIF in Discord? Yes, you do, Lucky. But yeah, I'll try to work it so like we actually have chat like popping in here. Not this episode, but the next one. But either way, you know, I wanted to try live streaming the show, and I feel like it worked out for the most part. We had a few technical issues, but you know, once I get a better computer, it'll definitely be gone. But thank you guys for being on the show. Thank you guys for watching the show, whether you're live or watching it on the FGFL channel. Make sure you guys go subscribe to the FGFL TV channel on YouTube if you haven't already. And until next time, y'all. Like I always say, no matter what happens, keep that mofo rolling. I love y'all 3,000. I'm about to be 5,000. Deuces. I'm not ending the stream, by the way, but I'm ending the video here. So deuces if you're watching this on the YouTube channel. Yeah, thank you guys so much for being on here, as always. I'm probably going to get off Discord because Discord's kind of fucking up my stream now. But thank you guys for being on, 100%. And
yeah, understandable.
You guys have a good one, and I'll see you guys around.
I'll see you.
Later, pimps.
Pimps.
See ya.
Yeah, if Discord wasn't such a pain on my laptop, I'd definitely stay in Discord a little bit longer with everybody, but you know. I don't know. It'd be like that, though. Alright, so I'm not ending stream. I'm actually about to switch over to some Madden 24 gameplay. And we're going to try to finish up this Titans franchise, y'all, but I'm going to take a quick sabbatical. I'm going to play some music for you guys. Hopefully that doesn't crash my laptop, and you never know with this piece of garbage, so. But yeah, keep it locked, y'all. We'll be back shortly. YouTube, I'm actually switching over to a different stream, so